What's on your mind? What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the What's on Your Mind podcast, where we talk about the things that no one else wants to talk about. And I am your host, Cash. What is up, everybody? We are back with episode 8. Thank you to everybody who's been watching and continue to watching on this journey. I'm so excited to get to episode 10. You have no idea. And so on. So thank you to everyone who has been supporting me on this podcast journey and have been giving their feedback as always, and things and such like that. I love you guys and I appreciate you so much more than you'll know. Today's topic, I am going to talk about music, and not just about music, but about music. So everybody doesn't think much beyond music besides listening to a song, artists, record labels, deals, genres, rock, hip hop, pop, etc., etc. That's really, I don't really know. What comes to your head? First thing that comes to your head when you think about music. And that's pretty much what a lot of people think about music to be. But if you're like me and you do a lot of research and you do a lot of thinking, then you would think of music like this. Music is a very, very spiritual thing. A lot of religions don't even like music because they say it's, bad. A lot of cultures, it's a lot of actually a lot of group of people who don't really want music around them because they believe that it's for the devil. So I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why they might think that or might feel that way about it. But honestly, music is a wonderful thing, and you got the vibrations and the frequencies that's in music that relates to your chakras and your energy and your own frequency within yourself. And that's what makes music satisfying to you in the first place, because it touches those parts of you that you might have not even thought about. That beat, when it hits and you feel that beat, it's hitting with your frequencies, and it's actually low vibrational songs actually kind of attach to your, not attached, I don't really want to say that word, that's why I kind of paused, but it kind of targets your lower chakra. And one of the things that's also in your lower chakra is your emotions. And one of the things, like, your emotions is the lowest part of yourself. It's the one thing that seems so hard to control, but in reality, we can control all of our emotions if we mastered how to. And we are the only ones who can actually control those emotions. But that's for another time. So, with that being said, a lot of music, if you're thinking about generations, take it like 60s, 70s. You can go as far back as you want. But I'm just going off my brain. You can go as far back as 50s, 40s, but you got the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2K, and now you have all of these different generations of music and different generations of sound. And within those things, you also have different generations of people who listen to those type of music. And this is some of my opinion, but also I strongly believe this to be a fact, 100%. But when you think about that, each era and the type of music that was in each era and how the society in each era that listened to that music was, there's no way that you cannot believe that music does not target you purposely. And the more corrupt or wild or head banging or whatever, the more it's going to gravitate those people who listen to that music towards them. Like, I love all genres of music. I don't dislike any genre. Music is music. Good music to me is music. That's my genre. So I listen to a little bit of everything. But in every genre, there's a lot of stuff I don't listen to. And it just don't fit right with me. It doesn't ring my ears, you know? And I do listen to a lot of rock and stuff, but the type that I listen to a lot of indie rock or underground and alternative. And honestly, I found that to be more wholesome in the sound. For some reason, I've always have connected to music that type of rock, that wave. Like, I like my AC/DC too, but I don't really listen to a lot of their songs, just a few, because not saying anything's bad with them, but honestly, if you look at the music you listen to and look at yourself and see if it matches. See if you are being influenced by your music or the music you listen to, or is the music you listen to influenced by who you are. Because there's a lot of things that people don't realize, like the 808s. That's literally the 808s in songs, in the beats, does something to our vibration. Every melody frequency does something to your vibration when you listen to it. A lot of people can't go days without listening to music, or they don't know what they'll do. They can't see themselves going a day without listening to music at all. And honestly, I believe that's kind of part of it. And it's the part of music being so great in a sense that leads people to think like that. And honestly, I used to be like that until I went a week without listening to music. Then it turned into more, and extensive period of times where I didn't listen to music every day, which I used to listen to it every day. Even when I get in my car, I do a lot of silent car rides, and it's just not because I'm thinking like, oh, I don't want to turn on the music. It's just naturally, I just don't think about it. I guess I untrained my brain to think that I need to listen to music every day. I don't know. But it's kind of like the biggest way that I can explain it without going into a really deep conspiracy, which I am kind of going to do. But the best way I can explain it before that is people who listen to sad songs when they're sad, we all do it sometimes, to make themselves sadder. And it works because that song has a certain frequency and vibration that helps you cry. You can listen to a happy song when you're sad, and it has a certain frequency and vibration in that beat that makes it a happy song, an uplifting song, and now you feel better. So what do you think happens when people are listening to music with violence? And I'm not talking about just rap like a lot of people do. I'm not talking about just hip hop like a lot of people do. I'm talking about it all. Every single genre of music has its own toxicity in that music. And as a person who's listened to all of them, like I said, I can say that for a fact. There's no genre of music that doesn't have toxicity. Even country. I've heard some wild country songs. So, every single genre. And a lot of people like to target rap and hip hop because I don't know why, but I can assume. I don't think I need to say it. We all get it, right? But a lot of rappers, when they introduce, sorry, I don't know what happened there. That hasn't happened in a few episodes. That kind of sucks. But anyway, I was doing really well. But in a lot of rappers' lives, I don't know if you guys watch interviews and stuff like that, but I used to a lot. And, excuse me. And when they all grew up, majority having to sell drugs to feed themselves, to feed their family, growing up in a gang, so that's just a lifestyle, that's all you know. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think that it's so simple to just not be that way, and the only way is to just get taken out of the whole environment that's corrupted as a whole. Because if you don't do that, then it's really no other way. Because even if you have a community that's really messed up, they can hate anybody who chooses to succeed in that community, and then that person ends up having to struggle through their success anyway. And a lot of rappers who grew up like this, they put that into their songs once they started making music, because they started rapping about their life, what they know, what they see, people shooting each other, whoever they have killed, the stories, their horrors, their nightmares, their dreams, all of it, their fantasies. They start rapping about all of that as they go to the rise. They start singing about it. People, any genre of music, you start singing about when you first start, how you want to be this, how you want to be that. You sing from your heart, what you know, what you see, your experiences, all these things. And as you grow and you get more successful in that, you are no longer in that environment. You move yourself out of it and everything. But the thing is, you still are rapping about the experiences you had, what you've seen, everything, even though that's not what's no longer around you anymore. But it's what's sold. So if you think about, it's what's sold, so it's like that's what they keep making over and over to keep their revenue going. And if they change the script, their revenue will change too. And if that doesn't show you how much violence and just music that sounds violent influences people in a communities and everything, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, if you do not think that, it's beyond frequency. Honestly, it's beyond frequency, it's beyond vibrations. It's more to it than even that. That's just more things that music can influence within you that you really don't realize. But it's also when you're singing certain songs, your words have power. And rather you joke and all this, and if you watch my podcast a couple episodes back, I talked about how stop saying you're broke even as a joke, because when you say that, you're still speaking that word into the universe and it's still hearing it, whether you're joking or not. So same thing with music. You're rapping the lyrics. I don't know. I can't think of nothing off the top of my head right now. But you're rapping the lyrics to songs, singing the lyrics to songs, and just not even thinking. But you feel that emotion. You hear a good song. You start banging your head. Or you start getting the do. And then it's like, what is that? I never did this before in my life. Start throwing stuff. Like, I never did this. But the music makes you want to do it, because that's what it's supposed to do. Do you think that this is so small of an industry where they aren't putting out music to target the sales? Because that's just insane. It's an industry about money, and they trick people by thinking it's an industry about dreams, but it's really about money. And once you realize that, you start to realize that the people who got into this to chase a dream came out of it only wanting more money. And then when they got the money, they realized that's not gonna solve the problems. They got out of this, they got out of the situation, they made their dream of being an artist, all these things. But the thing that everybody forgets to deal with is those inner things that you did not face while you was up on the rise and coming, because you were in that circumstance, whatever it was. Your childhood, you done sung your whole childhood. Now you didn't have a childhood, so now you grew up an artist, have money. Now you have childhood, I don't know what they call it. Is that technically childhood trauma, or is that like, what is that? Can't think of it right now. But then you grow up having problems because you didn't have a childhood, and you never thought about it. You just pushing, and never took the time to actually sit to and talk to yourself, and learn yourself and get through these things, your demons and all of these things within yourself. Some people don't even sit down and celebrate their successes. They just grind. And within that, they're still making this music, and the passion and the energy that they are putting into this music mixed with the beats that they are using is how everyone gets God. And it's the easiest, I don't even know how long it's been going on, probably for a very long time. Easiest, best trick to have to get money and to keep certain societies, certain type of people in a category. Because when you start to tell people things like rock really influenced a lot of music, and then you start to tell them that you got Little Richard, he was the king of rock, the king of rock. So then you got that, and then people don't really believe you because he's black, but in reality all of music really did come from black communities. And if you didn't know that, I'm sorry to say, and it might not be the popular artists, which I'm learning that a lot of them are British, but it might not be as popular as you think that they are, as these British artists or whatever these legendary artists are. Because if you think about it, if in these times, in these eras, if the world was right, they would have the same recognition, the same seniority as everybody else in that genre. But since they're POC, they didn't get that same recognition besides the people that are POC as well. And I'm not saying all of them are POC, but you get the gist. So within that, and you streamline it all the way up, all these genres, then you get rap, RAP, rhythm and poetry, hip hop, all of that, right? So it streamlines all of these genres, and somehow all these genres get created, and now rap and hip hop is bad. Is the worst one. When really everything is influenced by one genre, which is music itself. And I listen to a lot of X, a lot of Juice WRLD, a lot of all of that, when they first came out. I still listen to them sometimes, but I don't sing it anymore because I start to feel it, honestly. And even though I like the songs and I felt like it was good music to me, I would be lying to myself, honestly, if I said that I didn't feel the energy shift when listening to those songs. And it's just a lot of people ignore when something feels off or something. They think they're crazy or weird, or if a lot of people feel it, everybody thinks they're crazy or weird. But honestly, you have to listen to yourself, and that feeling that you get, even if you think a song is good, that's that song, that energy messing with yours. And you have to take that in consideration when you're listening to music. And you have to truly love yourself and know that your words do have power. So when you're reciting songs that you love, hanging out the window with my ratchet friends. 9 times out of 10, you are hanging out the window with your ratchet friends. And if that doesn't click to you, I don't know what does. And then, you got any kind of music. Really, there's just so much in it. Like, right now, I feel like we're in, you got wanting thoughts. I'm going to say that just so I don't cuss. And then you got heartbreak, depression, love. I feel like this is the 4 popular topics right now in music that I'm hearing the most about. So when you have all those things, you have so much songs about depression, and you have all of these people, especially the kids, posting videos to these songs about being depressed when they might just feel that way because of the music they listen to is so melancholy. So they're feeling that and not knowing what to do with it and taking that in as their own feelings. They're saying it, singing these lyrics, bring it into their life, and they don't know why they're sad. They don't know why they're depressed. They don't know when it's really the stuff that they're listening to. So it's important that you know how much a lot of things can and will affect you in your life, and even the little things do. So please be careful with the music that you sing, the music that you listen to, and think about how it affects your vibration, it affects your thought process, and it affects your frequencies. And honestly, when you listen to, and I'm not saying you gotta listen to spiritual music or anything like that. I'm not saying you gotta do anything, to be honest. It's your life. But I'm saying you should look at your playlist and take in consideration what's on it and what you listen to every day, especially if you listen to music every day. Especially if you're singing music every day too. And when you think about it, think about the people, the artists who are making the songs. Like, go get the money, get the money. Go get the money, go with the money, push it. Honestly, I don't know another song by, what's his name, OT? I don't know another song by him. But I bet you he got a lot of money from that song. He performed it over and over. He probably recorded it a bunch of times. He wrote it down. I bet you got a lot of money from that song. Go get the money, go get the money. And it's kind of like when people go to the gym and they have their playlist to motivate them. How is the playlist able to motivate you? Because it's getting into your head, it's getting into that frequency, those vibrations. So you feel it literally, because that's what it's doing. So, just take care of yourselves. Be careful out here. It's a dangerous world, and a lot of things are set up to hit us blindly, but it's set up for us to drown. So please, my message for the end of today's podcast is be mindful of the music you're listening to and the words that you're saying, as you can manifest things into your life on accident, and you can cause events and emotions and feelings on yourself on accident just by listening to music. And for those I make music myself, my own. If you don't know, you can check it out on SoundCloud. I'm also on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream, YouTube, wherever you stream, I'm there. So even as an artist, it's important to me to make music that is good for my own vibration, and I don't even do it consciously. And yeah, I have some songs that, you know, you just, but that's basically what I'm like trying to say. But like, yeah, I have some songs that are like, you know, that I just wanted to make songs that everybody likes to turn up to and stuff. So I do have a few songs like that. But that's because I know the words and the vibration and the beat and the frequency that people want to turn up to. And that's how they do it. And it's like, as an artist, I have my own set and how I want myself to be presented and sound. And honestly, I suck at making club bangers because I always want to talk about honest stuff. And that puts me in a risk of having a really risky music career. And I'm all here for it, and I always have been. And I would never change it for anything for that reason, that I always want everything to be true and true to me and true to everyone and enjoyable. So, peace, love, and happiness. And I'll see you next time where we find out what's on your mind.